of Colorado.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate the time, and thank you to all of you for your testimony today. As a combat veteran of the Afghanistan war, like many of my colleagues and like many of you here today, we have left pieces of our heart with Afghanistan, and we also know in a very deep and personal way that we can detest the brutality of the Taliban and push back against the Taliban and continue to support resistance to the Taliban, but we can also support the people of Afghanistan, that we are capable of making that distinction and finding ways to make sure we support people that, frankly, over our 20-plus years, learned to love freedom, to yearn for freedom and democracy, an entire generation of Afghans that got a taste for that freedom and will continue to resist. And I feel like we have a lifelong responsibility to support that. And consistent with that, we know from the World Food Program that over 15 million of the Afghan people, many of whom we fought with and for, are food insecure in the last year. 29 million, two-thirds of the population are in some kind of need of humanitarian assistance. But there remains a lot of misinformation and false claims about the level of diversion, right, and the Taliban taking that information. So could you very briefly just paint a high-level picture for the fact that we know how to do this, right? This is not the first time ever that the United States and our allies provide assistance to people that we have committed to and support, but do so in a way that doesn't support rogue regimes or oppressive regimes that those folks live under. So could you just paint that picture, please, for a moment?
Sure. Thank you very much for that question. Like you, and for the exact same reasons that you've laid out, we also believe that we have an ongoing moral commitment to the people of Afghanistan, and one that is extremely important for us to uphold.
Could you speak up a little bit, please?
Certainly, I will try, and I apologize for my creaky voice at times. On this question of diversion, as I laid out in my opening statement, we take these questions to be extraordinarily seriously, because we believe that it is absolutely critical that we make sure that our assistance benefits the people of Afghanistan and does not benefit the Taliban. We do that in part through the way in which we design our programs. For example, our agricultural programs work directly with smallhold farmers, and we make sure that the benefit flows to them in their ability to plant crops and bring those crops to market, and so that there is no benefit that goes beyond the individuals and to the Taliban. Beyond that, with our implementing partners, we have rigorous oversight processes and systems in place. We require all of our implementing partners to report to us if there are any allegations about the diversion of funds, and we have seen them take swift actions more than 25 times thus far to suspend assistance when there are concerns, until they and we are able to make sure that those concerns are fully addressed.
Thank you, Mr. Schiffer. I have one more question. I appreciate we could talk a lot about this, but we all know that there are many checks, and we go directly to the people in instances like this. And we have lots of partners and lots of capability to do that, because this is not the first time we've done it. Ms. Amiri, to you, there is this oftentimes this false impression that providing humanitarian aid will support oppressive regimes. But what we actually know is that oppressive regimes oppress, right? That is what they do. In that when people actually have food, when they have security, when they have resources, they're more able to resist oppression. So you have the amazing work of, amazing job of helping support the Afghan women and girls. Can you tell me how those resources help those women and girls resist and continue to pursue freedom?
Thank you very much for that question. I think one issue that we lose sight of is Afghan women are embedded in society. They are not separate from it. So what the humanitarian assistance that we provide it's the population that is in most need of it is most vulnerable. They're women and children. Of the population that is at most at risk for food insecurity, it's women and children. In fact, when you look at the numbers, it's over 70% go to women and children. And the conversations that I have with Afghan women and girls, they are desperate. They have lost everything overnight. And what they struggle with is not just the fact that they've lost their voice. Many of the mothers that I speak to, the women that I speak to, they note that that one of the things that they most struggle with is that the fact that they don't know how they're going to feed their children.
And thank you, Congressman Crow.